Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers Showcase video. In today's video we are looking at the F-35A Lightning II, which is this thing right here. So this is another fighter jet that looks absolutely fantastic, and it only features a single mod, which is the chair you control the plane with. Now do ignore this little landing gear and blocks underneath it, because the ship does tend to fall down a little and can't hover in place. But anyway, let's start by going around the outside, and then there'll be time to fly it around a bit, shoot a few things, and that'll be done. So starting at the very front, we can see some slope blocks using the clean texture skin from the second DLC pack. As we come along the side there, we can see even more little slopes every which way around this thing, which gives it its very unique looking shape. A projector is being used to create the canopy, I think that's the right word, but you'd sit in there if I was to take control of my character and just hop down into the seat. There we go, and in first person, this is what it looks like. So the projector there is just basically making up for the fact that you're not in a proper cockpit. Above the cockpit, we can see some unfinished blocks, and if I was to sneakily just phase through these, we can see that there is a projector right there, which is how that little cockpit is being projected. Now we come across to this bit here, which is like the air intake of the jet, which is being done by the sloped unfinished blocks. Coming around the side, we can see a gatling gun, which is only featured on the left hand side of this plane. There are some blast door edges underneath it, which looks really nice. Going across to the wing, we've got two rocket launchers, two on the opposite side, and they are timer blocks, so they fire in a pattern. Moving across to the side, we can see a blinking light and two little panels there with some red textures. We've also got some unfinished blocks on the very edge. Moving around to the back, we can't really see too much else. We can see how the rocket launchers are being attached with a blast door corner part going into some steel blocks, which is holding it onto the wing. Going up and above the wing, we can see even more little bits of detail here with some little display screens with their logo on it, and we can see what is kind of like a small texture. Whether it's intended or not, it does work, giving it that little bit of extra flavor, breaking up the plain block look. Then we come across to the back of the plane where we have another logo, a blast door edges on a rotor, which is how it's getting the angle. Then dropping down and behind here, we can see even more block work using these slope blocks, and then we get to the main thruster. So this ship uses hydrogen engines, which is how it's going to thrust itself along. So technically you could use this in space, but it is generally for Earth-like planets and all that. So dropping down underneath it, minding the little landing gear there, we can see even more blast door edges. We've got some lights and some unfinished blocks there. It looks really good from underneath. I always like when people put a little bit of detail under their ship where you wouldn't normally look. So on the top there, we can see even more detail with like these little corner edge blocks, which have been quite neatly placed down. We then see the rest of the cockpit right there. And then coming along to the back, a few more unfinished blocks and a few more little blast door parts there just to break up going along that top rim. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Going up close like this and going all the way around doesn't really do it justice. If you were to sit back and look at it like that, it looks absolutely amazing. But now it's time to take control of the character and go for a little fly. But I have set up one over here which isn't connected to a landing gear and is ready to go. So getting into the little modded seat, we have a few options. Number one is the gatling gun on our left shoulder, like so. Number two is the rockets. So there we go, that's now firing. It's sort of just damage myself there, but let's ignore that. Yes, you can just keep shooting them forwards, it's all good. Number three is quite interesting, because at first you think, oh, it's just going to turn off the hydrogen, isn't it? No, this turns off the reverse thrust, so it acts like a normal plane where you wouldn't be able to stop. Like if I was to go forwards and then stop, you wouldn't be able to do that. So if I was to turn it off and go forwards, it's going to stop very, very slowly instead of being almost instantly. Number four is the antenna on and off, so you can see the little name there. If I just hold Alt, there we go. And if I was to turn it off and come to tab number two, we have another one which does the exact same thing, but yes, it's just on a separate tab there. Anyway, now it's time to go for a little fly, but as you see there, I am slowly just going down. That is why I had to put on landing gear, because you cannot hover with the ship. You will have to go and land. If you do any form of movements like that, it'll start going down, down, down. So, going forwards, it goes very fast, doesn't it? It acts just like a jet, shooting off and ready to attack its opponents. So there we go, we just shoot. Doing a small little test there. Good. The missiles do not hit the ship, which is something that annoys me a lot on quite a few ships where you have missile launchers, but if you were to turn suddenly, it hits yourself. Yes, it's not the case with this ship. Yes, let's go for fly forwards, all the way forwards. And then stop. With the hydrogen thrusters turned on, it stops at a pretty decent speed. So there's that. And if I was to fly forwards, let's just fly over this weird thing that I'm not going to talk about. And yes, there are mines everywhere. Let's fly forwards, turn off the reverse thrust, and then start stopping. It's going to be a very long time before this thing comes to a complete stop. It might be a good idea to replace the wings with some of the aerodynamic wings from that little mod pack, but that's entirely up to you what you do with this once you've downloaded it. Going left, going right, it's not too bad. It's very slow, but it's serviceable. Going down pretty damn fast, and going up, again, is pretty fast, which is good. Wiggling my mouse around, we got some pretty good control over this. We see there the little display screen there is telling me that that's the ground. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if I go there, and I'm gonna keep flying like that. Just fly at a good degree. There we go. Pretend the floor's not there. Perfectly fine. Yeah, so I appear to have lost the back wing there. Oh well. Yes, we just shoot these little missiles everywhere. Let's just hide the HUD. In fact, we could just shoot them into these little mines everywhere. There we go. Looks all good. Uh-oh. Ha. Well, that ship's gone. And last but not least, we of course got to look at the block count for this ship. So if I was to find it, there it is. This thing weighs in at 809 small blocks, using the script from Whiplash, which is that little display screen, and of course one mod which I talked about earlier. So if you are interested in playing around with this jet, feel free to download it. It will be in the description below if you wish to, and I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Bye bye.